How are we all feeling? Are we ready? Why? Well, it's Measure Up Day in the NEC Arena with the final pool matches before the classification rounds. 3 sessions, every team in action. We'll bring the energy, you can bring the snacks. And we know the semi-finalists, but this is all about who finishes where outside of the top 4. I think the thousands packed inside this home of netball will need as much of a towel down as the courts. Session 1 sees the world number ones up against the pretenders for the crown, followed up by Wales against Barbados in Pool A. It's all about ending up as high as possible, but what a treat. There's a Session 2 and a 3 to come. We have potential medal matchups. We have grudges flying left, right, and particularly through the centre. It's all about to go off. First up, goals versus goals. Intercept heaven. This is Australia versus Jamaica. Pamela Cookie, England captain, once was, always is in my heart alongside me, and this is all about final placings. Who takes the pool will set up the semi-final against the second team in Pool B. This one is one to relish. Let's get to those starting lineups and get Pamela's thoughts then, needing very little introduction. First up, the world number ones, then Australia. 50th cap for Jo Weston and no Paige Hadley, Pam.
Yeah, this is arguably the best available starting 7, I say, without Paige Hadley, still recovering from her injury. Clinical in attack with Watson, Wood and goal shooter Buetta, and defensively Bruce and Brazil will not give an inch, and Weston will be given space to fly.
Australia averaging over 82 goals this tournament. They are yet to drop a quarter. Closest they've been run was a 16-13. Mention those subs list. We can see Paige Hadley, you're right, listed, but we won't see her in action on this court. There are 3 players who started every match for Australia in an Ash Brazil Mother Whitehead brilliance.
Ash Brazil is described as a coach's dream because she is such a versatile player. She prioritised netball over AFL this season to ensure her selection for this Commonwealth Games. She has speed and a die-hard determination to win ball for her side. She doesn't give her player an inch.
She's a leader. What about the captain, Liz Watson?
Watson topping the table in feeds into the circle and goal assists. She continuing her dynamic dominance at wing attack for the national side. She suffered a season-ending injury in 2021 and has come back in 2022 with the same dynamite play and attention to detail.
I talked about goals. I give you lights out shooting Greta Buetta.
What a superstar. Stand out at both goal shooter and goal attack. Buetta consistently shoots in the high 90s and a member of the 100 Club on multiple occasions. At 6'3", she has speed, power and agility in her game, which causes defenders countless problems and why one of the first names on the team sheet.
This one is going to be so close, and that's because of this Jamaica starting lineup. They started at 7 in the win over South Africa, and again another set of sharp shooters and those defenders.
Yeah, this combination has proved the most consistent and damaging to sides so far in this tournament. Dixon Rochester in centre has been the key connection between their attack and defensive end. Defensive duo of Sterling, Wilson and Ward top intercepts, their second in deflections, and will for sure come out with ball.
There's going to be loads of sound effects during this one. Lots of oohs and ahs and flies all the way through. 80 goal average, Jamaica. They do have those weapons at the back, arguably the most exciting defensive end. And we talk about that defensive end because Connie Francis, head coach, has brought in Rob Wright.
Yeah, I think Connie has done a key move here in bringing technical coach for the Jamaican defensive end. Wright has brought them structure and discipline. They are working as a unit, turning over clean ball, which is what's key. He is regarded as one of the most technical minds in netball and has partnered well under Connie.
Let's talk about the one currency you need in netball, and that's sterling.
Part of the team that won the bronze in 2018, she is gunning for gold this time round. One of the most exciting players in the world and has gone from strength to strength. Athletic, wily, and defies the laws of physics with her range of movement and ability to win ball.
I love defying the laws of physics. Wilson does a pretty similar job in that respect.
Indeed, and she's gunning for that best goal defence in the world title. Wilson, in the last few seasons, and pairing with Sterling in the circle, has become a force to reckon with. Individually, she comes from seemingly nowhere to take balls, and as a unit, she sets up countless intercepts for her teammates.
Well, these two have met at every Commonwealth Games where a medal has been on offer in the netball. It's the 7th time then. We've had 5 Australia wins and 1 draw. Will Jamaica edge this one? Australia then really tested in their 4 matches so far. Things were tighter against South Africa, but they had 3 players shoot 100% in that one. They are clinical when they need to be. Jamaica too, well, they've responded to any threat. They've been consistent. Against South Africa, the real test, they dropped the final quarter to them 14-18. But who'll forget when they scored 30 goals in 1 quarter against Barbados? Surely not today. It's netball at its finest. You need cool and calm heads out on courts and running the lines.
Please
your umpires for this one, Gareth Fowler and Angela Armstrong Lush. They'll have Gary Burgess as their reserve.
Will be Gary Burgess.
Travelling from the 4 corners of the Commonwealth, our 12 super teams have arrived in Birmingham. Prepared to defend, pass and shoot their way to the gold medal. You're about to cross over into the netball zone.
The final day of the pool matches, and what a corker to start us off. Australia have played in all 6 gold medal matches. They won 3 golds, 3 silvers since netball was introduced. They're out to reclaim that gold lost in their own backyard. Captain Liz Watson leading them out onto court. She tops the feeds into the circle, an average of 24. At goalkeeper, Courtney Bruce, 2nd in games, 3rd in deflections. And what a day for Jo Weston at goal defence, the occasion of her 50th Australia cap. Always a warm welcome for Ash Brazel. We've seen her family in the crowd, ready to roar her on. Kate Maloney at centre. Steph Wood, we saw perhaps a little injury for her last time out. Great to see her back running fit onto court. 39th cap for Steph Wood. And Gretel Bueta, her 45th cap at goal shooter. 273 caps in that starting 7 for Australia, and they'll be up against the 350 cap might of Jamaica.
Jamaica!
7th Commonwealth Games for Jamaica with 8 players back from 2018. They have experience in bucket loads. None more so than Janelle Fowler, 83rd cap for her, winning the title with West Coast Fever in Australia. She's ready to follow up with another gold. Shamira Sterling then at goalkeeper. Latanya Wilson will join her, a club teammate at goal defence. That real strong defensive line with Jodie Ann Ward in there too. And the ever ready and experienced Nicole Dixon-Rochester will run the centre. Really impressive tournament so far for Khadija Williams. It's her 61st cap. And then Shanice Beckford, 2nd the centre pass received. She's shooting at 82%. She'll be with Janelle Fowler in that circle. Love how they welcome the bench onto court as well. This is a team. Right then, Pamela Cookie, we are used to tussles between these 2 sides, but arguably going into this is the most open of matches that we're about to see.
I cannot call it. I think both have performed so well so far in competition. You've got the one-on-one shutdowns from Australia versus the ball-hunting defence of Jamaica.
Jamaica were barely ready to get going, but now they are settled. The race for the top of Pool A then, we're in for a stonker.
Managed obstruction goal attack. Managed obstruction centre, but contact centre Australia.
Well, we talk a lot about the energy and the skill of this Jamaican side, but it's their patience that's seen them through this tournament so far.
Definitely, and that's where we've seen the marked improvement from Jamaica, that bringing that ball through that centre court, centre and wing attack, having the patience just to work it and getting into the formidable shooter that is Janelle Fowler.
The problem they've got in front of them in Gretel Bweta, I said she's shooting lights, at 96% for Bweta so far in this tournament.
She's been on fire. Both positions, goal shooter and goal attack. I think potentially strongest at goal shooter in this Diamond side.
Obstruction goal defence.
Sometimes you say it's so easy to feed Janelle Fowler, but they're doing it to perfection.
Yeah, and because she can hold so well, yes, she's tall, but she doesn't just use that. She uses her movement and her body positioning. And the way Bweta can take some great balls. She's so athletic.
Contact wing defence. Barney's moving, wing defence. Contact goalkeeper.
And that's the strength in the hold that Fowler brings to this end.
You're right. Australia.
Great feed from Beckford. See how she's quite petite, but because she was able to jump with control and release that nice, lovely ball, it went straight over the arms of her 3-foot mark.
Well, there's that defensive lineup, and that's what it means to the crowd inside. You'd have to say predominantly behind Jamaica early on in this match. Oh, lovely feed again. Well, we're going to see tussle both ends. We're going to see club teammates as we are in that circle on Australian soil, but just seeing the dynamism from this Jamaica side early on. They get the turn, 4-2 up.
Contact wing defence. Beside the wing defence.
That's a shame. So Beckford
Australia.
heavily relying on Fowler there. She can shoot, she is accurate, so she just needs to go to post and put that ball up, because otherwise Australia will get those defense.
But look at that!
Far out!
Teammates of West Coast Fever. That wasn't a high five from Fowler, that was a total shutout on her teammate Bruce.
Contact centre
Straight onto
Australia.
defense.
Brilliant. Oh, again, just
Goal
dropping
shooter. Goal shooter.
short.
Goal shooter. Too harsh.
Fowler told, too harsh. That one is going to be a contest for the ages, right?
Yeah, as you said, teammates for club West Coast, they train together week in, week out. They know each other's play inside out.
No love lost here.
Come forward, goal line. That's it.
Maloney looking to settle the crowd and this Australian side. Wood coming out hunting for it.
Centre obstruction. Centre outside.
Oh, beautiful. That's what Steph Woods brings to your side of goal attack. She's so creative with ball in hand.
So that was the arm coming down, and Bruce feeling the full force of Janelle Fowler at one end, up the other, and they just have the ability, Australia, to put a little damp cloth, I was about to say, on any furrowed brow. But again, Jamaica will get this win in terms of defensively.
Yeah.
You'll see them keep winning ball back.
Well, and with Sterling, that ball just a little bit too close to her for comfort. Very flat.
Oh, again, this one has gone off like a rocket.
this time, Dixon Rochester.
Centre pass, Jamaica. They alternate centre passes.
Contact wing defence.
Brazel called against, and Wilson advances things forward. You're right, that the work from Dixon Rochester around that circle, talk a lot about the glory of the shooters at the end, but she's done so much in this tournament.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, kind of keeping that ball moving, creating the space, and then when it's on, getting it into the circle.
Contact goal defence outside. With the goal defence.
Good to see Steph Wood doesn't look like she's feeling any effects of that little turned ankle the other day. Again, a real calming influence in that circle, but a replay ball.
Yeah, and she'd had quite a bit of an up and down season for her domestic team. Started slowly, but then started to come back into it towards the latter part. So she'll be looking to have that kind of form in this game.
Well, brought in as a defensive specialist, Rob Wright. You were speaking about him beforehand. Pamela Cook, he's got to be pleased with what he's seen so far.
Yeah, really pleased. And I just think what him and Connie Francis have done to really get them working as a team, to get them, you can see them having such a great time and supporting each other, which potentially we haven't seen in some previous Jamaican sides.
Back a step.
And Connie Francis, the leader of this Brains Trust. Fowler again. Every day of the week.
This is a great start from Jamaica because they've been so great in defence to really shut down that space, but then in attack, they've really made every opportunity count.
7-3 up. 8 minutes of this first quarter still to go.
Fowler. Not often do you see her exit so far out the circle, but then this drive of speed and power to get back in. Fabulous take.
How do Australia respond? Not dropping at the moment.
Just too quick on the three-court for Jamaica. They've fumbled and it's back in Australia's hands, but Sterling, first phase marking on that shot and then straight up for the rebound. What a turnover.
Got in their heads early on.
Australia.
Wilson on attack, just not able to control it. And that's that centre third of the court where they have struggled with in the past.
The one potential question mark over this Jamaica side. Australia again, though. They've been in sticky situations before and they always tend to find a way to thread through.
Yeah, they never panic. They always have this innate belief that they will win a game. And so you've just got to keep going right till the final 60 minutes.
And their centre pass for the backup. They've been shooting at 71% in this one so far. Bueta having to work hard.
Really tight rope in that back line.
Big hand again. In on the rejection from Sterling.
And that's the movement that Greta Bueta will need to continue to do. That real quick change of direction. Take Sterling one way, then go back the other way. Less of the aerial stuff, which is her bread and butter.
Williams puts her hands up, apologising for breaking on that centre pass. And all that momentum that Jamaica had has just shifted the other way. It's a chance for Australia to get back within a goal. We are only in the first quarter. Remarkable.
Advantage offside wing defence. Moving off keeper.
Well, Jamaica haven't beaten Australia at a Commonwealth Games. Have drawn one. But it's just because how relentless Australia are on coming back at teams.
They could just keep in Australia all on this left-hand side.
Contact goal defence.
But they're happy to keep working it around.
Advantage obstruction wing defence. Obstruction keeper.
Well, Steph Wood makes it 8 goals all in this quarter. A reminder, at one stage, Jamaica was 7-3 up.
And that's what Australia can do. They can just
Contact
patiently
Citra,
play
Australia.
their own game.
Goal
And then
third.
when you've got Steph Wood shooting at 100%, can't afford just to wholly focus on Beretta.
Replay.
She wasn't settled at any stage in that Beckford. Fowler just trying to urge her team, and you could see that. Ward can't hang on to it. Australia come up with the ball. Big hand! Well, she was determined to fight back for that one.
She is indeed. Look at that. How does she stay in the air so that she can wait for the ball to drop and into her hands?
Someone stick this one in slow motion. Only 4.5 minutes left of this first quarter. It's had a bit of everything so far.
Contact goalkeeper. Where the shooter is.
Just love the variety we've seen from both teams already in the feeds into the circle.
And this time in front so that Fowler can just take and step.
Watson.
Contact goal defence.
Wood with a little step in. Well, any criticism that may have been levelled at Steph Wood, she's enjoying this one 100%.
Yeah, captain at Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Goal third.
Slow start in terms of, like, she wasn't fully where we'd seen her in previous years, but now she's cooking on all cylinders.
Well, that Jamaican bench might have the best seat in the house, but they're all up, ready to cheer on their side, on their toes, ready if needed. Watson.
Lovely work on the edge of the circle. See how she completely fooled Ward.
Smart play.
When in trouble, just hoist it into the air.
And the thing about that is, Western, that defensive end, are quick, are agile, Australia, but it's the surprise sometimes. I say surprise, you expect it, but where's it going to land? Amazing. Quick hands again, though, from Australia, just opening it up.
And that speed, that change of angles, when Jamaica's heads are down, you get through them like something.
Goal attack.
You see Australia really putting the pressure on in the mid-court.
Australia sideline.
It's working.
Yeah, definitely, and if you can win ball early, which is the key, when you've got a Fowler at goal shooter, if you get the ball on the edge of the circle with her height, it will go in pretty much 99 times out of 100. Whereas if you can win the ball higher up in the circle, you take away that weapon. Higher up in the court, sorry.
Barely a touch on the way through from Grethel Bueta, but that old 1-2 finished off in style. 2 minutes left on this first quarter. Fear not, another 3 quarters to come.
Advantage offside goal attack. Wing defence obstruction.
You go up in the air, Sterling is going to get that. But all that hard work.
The emotion of sport, the high to the low in 0.5 seconds.
Obstruction goal shooter.
That certainly woke some up, didn't it?
Advantage offside centre.
Good movement again, and they're being forced into this in this circle, but at the moment they're standing up to that dance.
Yeah, indeed, and it's nice movement from Maloney at centre just to spread that attacking end wider.
Okay, goalkeeper beside the shooter.
Back to a goal into the last minute.
Advantage obstruction, we get goal attack.
They are giving a masterclass on at times how to just control the speed of that through. But what happens then is you never know where Sterling's going to pop up, where that pressure's going to come.
You know, from Wilson as well, they just seem to come from nowhere. Their timing great, but it's their attack end that's just letting them down, Jamaica. Can't seem to break through.
Keeper obstruction.
Oh, just over Wood from distance.
Well, actually probably helped Australia in the end because they added an extra goal, but also count on the clock too. If any team, though, we know Jamaica can go long when needed. Beckford with the crane and with the through. Well, we'll go back to just the goal in it, but Beckford, as she walks off court, knows that her Jamaica side were leading at one stage by 8-4. Australia have come back and a goal ahead at the quarter time.
When you play against Jamaica, it's all about like which team's going to show up. If they come to the plate, then you know you're in for a battle. If they're not, heads aren't in it, then they'll easily fall to the way. But today, they have come for the battle. They've pushed Australia, but they've had issues where they haven't been able to capitalise in their attacking end on the amazing defensive work that's happening.
When we've seen them able to find that way through, particularly in the early stages, you just thought they were going to keep on keeping on. But Australia worked them out towards the latter stage of that quarter.
They did, and I think that consistency from Jamaica just slipped, and Australia just constantly just doing their own thing, just playing what's in front of them, and when those opportunities arose, they pounced. And it's great defensive pressure from all teams, but when you've got a 6'5" fouler in the back end, these long bombs can go all day long.
We saw Bruce feel the full effects of her teammate Janelle Fowler in their club teammate as well. So many intriguing head-to-heads across court. But they'll be happy, you think, with that first 15? Let's see if we can hear a bit.
So it's really important that on second phase of their centre pass, whoever the ball's not going to, our defender needs to be aware of that and reposition, because they're dropping quite quickly and we're staying up. So it's really important that we know where the ball is. Then as it goes, we need to shift position to then force them back up into the center. Then we stop them denying them on deck.
Talking about the second phase.
Yeah, so Rob Wright just saying that whoever's not getting the first phase of the centre pass for Australia, the other one has to drop hard to the circle one.
What is it then that Australia were doing if we take a look in that first quarter in readjusting and punishing this side?
Well, that's an example of the second phase movement that Rob Wright is saying. Steph Wood at goal attack, as soon as she wasn't getting the first ball off the centre pass, she was hard down and no one was marking her. So Australia really using quick movement, quick change of direction to try and beat this Jamaican aerial ability.
Actually, looking at it, they had 16 attempts. They've been shooting at 88%, and they had dropped those couple actually right at the start of this quarter as well. Gretel Guetta not able to connect.
No, and then as the quarter went on, you saw the likes of Steph Wood shooting at 100% and Boetta's shooting coming back into the fold, and hence why that one goal in the lead.
We know that Australia had a dominant first quarter when these two met in 2018. We know that there have been fair old tussles between them over the years as well. Australia back out on court. There'll be such confidence in that circle now.
Yeah, big time. For them to be able to sort out their shooting, know that they can offer the Jamaican defence to be able to get ball under post and have those opportunities. Big lift for them, and likely so for Jamaica to see them running so well against the world's #1 in Australia. Good confidence for them.
Kit back in place, all ready for the off then. The second quarter of the final day of pool matches here in Birmingham. Brilliant. No changes for both sides. And it'll be Australia with a centre pass to get the second quarter underway. Western offering. Maloney comes out for it. And Watson too.
I'll take seat to Jamaica. Yes. Traction goal offence.
There you go.
Quick turn from Boetta once he's receiving the ball. Wilson had to get back.
Minus breaking wing attack.
The soothing balm of Australia applied. How do Jamaica respond? Williams, lovely feed then, just over the head of Maloney. Janelle Fowler does the rest. Can this please go goal for goal all the way to the end?
That would be exciting.
We expect at least 20 intercepts between now and then, just to add to it. Oh, there's Flavour, and there's Sterling.
Wood's first miss.
Nice contact on the fence.
She'll be annoyed with that. Because look how quickly Jamaica, this time round, get down with the call for a rejection from Bruce. And the offside from Williams.
Bruce was bouncing like a kid on Christmas Day. She just thoroughly enjoyed that moment.
Williams at wing attack. She's not allowed to go into that attacking, shooting circle.
Advantage of structure goal of fence.
Just looking for that cross-court ball to try and intercept it.
She knew she'd have it again.
Yeah, just needing to regain herself.
Jamaica.
Smiling and look up at the screen.
And a high five with her teammate, just to keep those connections.
Back out to 2 goals. But we've already seen what Jamaica can do to try and win the ball back. Bruce called for a little push. Amazing where the eyes have to be of these umpires in this one.
There's so much going on all over the court. You've got to follow the ball and what's going off the ball.
Australia. Biden's breaking goal, a wing attack.
Offside wing defence. Inside.
Great splits from Bueta.
Jamaica.
She's played the majority of these minutes for Australia in this one. They've kept that core spine.
And I think sometimes, well, for me, I found playing lots of minutes allows you to be able to get your feel of the court, get your feel of the game, and a fabulous take again from Fowler. But then she's also had a little bit of rest as well, so it's not like she's been completely flogged.
We already know both these sides will be in the semi-finals, but it's about who plays who takes the pool. The winners of this pool will play the second team in Pool B, so either New Zealand or England away, and that is the final match on court today. All about what's in front of us now, though. Absorbing netball.
That is contact centre. Australia.
Now, as calm as Australia will be at having that lead, they'll know Jamaica are more than capable of turning this at any time. Trying to stick to their task in front of them.
Contact goal defence. In line with me.
Not always smooth from the centre pass either. Oh, unlike that.
Unlike that shot. And you can see Wood and Bueta trying to keep Wilson and Ward, goalkeeper and goal defence, to make it away from each other so that they can't use that great partnership.
Biden's moving off, goal attack. Structure wing defence. She was there. Keeper obstruction with a skipper. Australia.
So much attention given to Janelle Fowler, but Beckford in there as well.
Obstruction goal attack.
And when she's getting the attempts at the moment for Jamaica, she's making them count.
Keeper push. Side the shooter, yes. Jamaica. Advantage obstruction wing attack.
Throw an advantage over a third.
Great pressure from Australia, keeping Jamaica high up the court and forcing that long one.
Over a third,
Courtney Bruce. It's a backline throw. It has to be received in that defensive end, but she went over everybody, and so ball back into Jamaica's hands.
Love how Fowler and Bruce are playing hand in hand almost, aren't they? Barely anything between them. Centre pass, Australia, and straight over the top.
Oh, and Maloney, great hustle.
Wow. How fortunate are they? I say fortunate, it was all about her ability to get back and recycle that one. Whew. Risky netball.
Advantage offside with defence.
Nice. And that's good composure from Bueta. She'd stepped in because she's off balance. As we see Mahoney, such speed.
What a brilliant shot of them both powering down to try and get that ball.
See into contact. Advantage contact centre. Australia.
So who's going to break next then? Do we think, Pamela?
Contact centre.
So close to goal.
Have you seen improvement in that
Advantage moving off
that
centre.
mid-court for Jamaica?
I have it at times, though, still it's not 100% there in terms of they are struggling just to get it down, but then when they do, they use that long ball outlet to help them out.
And it was the second phase off the centre pass that they were demanding a bit more for. Now back on attack, as she said, it's time's breaking down.
And there it is again. Fowler, and Fowler's helping that because she's consistently changing where she's holding, whether it's that front hold or whether it's going in for the backspace.
8-all on the quarter score. Australia had that one goal advantage they brought into this quarter from the first 15. Maloney goes back, has a look over to Steph Wood.
Contact goalkeeper, down low. One step up, goalkeeper, you're out of play.
They've still got
One
it,
step
but
up.
I mean,
Yes.
that is a risky old business when you look at the defensive prowess in that circle to hang that one up.
Definitely, and that was lucky that contact call came. And again through the middle.
Oh, who wants it? Australia come up with it. Just really, you could see them setting up Jamaica on that centre pass.
Advantage centre obstruction.
Jamaica sensing it, trying to keep that ball high up.
That's better when Wood goes into the circle.
Replay.
Oh, Loretta thinking that potentially Body was going to come, just replayed that ball after the attack. Just hit her knee and lost control.
Wing attack, contact. Hold time,
Wilson will get
down,
back up.
please.
Probably a good time for a breather for everyone, actually. And a perfect time too for Jamaica just to gather their thoughts, having won that ball, now to look at where they're going to go through court.
Yeah, sometimes on those turnovers, they're just a little bit too quick for themselves. They don't set up quickly enough that then they can play through. So with this timeout, they can reset, get into positions,
Wait for her.
and then go.
Whistle hasn't gone yet.
We'll reset and we'll wait for the whistle. Up back to Sterling. Great defensive work from Australia again. Could feel they were setting it up.
And then the footwork call. They'll be really ruining these opportunities that they've had to take it back at Australia.
That is called wing defence obstruction. Obstruction.
Nice. And I think it works a lot better for Australia when Wood gets into that circle early and then plays out, because then the defence can't just suck on to Bueta.
7 from 8 for Steph Wood.
That is contact, goal attack.
88%. Gretel Bueta at 89%. Jamaica up at 95%. All down to how many attempts they're getting at the moment. And that great through court defence from Australia. Wood into Bueta again.
Goal defence, contact.
And just felt the energy levels dropped. And as we were saying before about Australia starting to dictate the pace of this one. It's their largest gap.
Contact,
They
wing attack. And line.
open it out to 4. Feel it a key moment for Jamaica this.
Yeah, they don't want to let this scoreline spread out too much. and give themselves a mountain of work to climb, because if you can get ahead of Jamaica, their heads tend to drop a good distance ahead.
Australia.
Captain's goal. Janelle Fowler brings it back to 25-22, 11-9 Australia lead on this quarter. We talked about it being a measuring up day. I just feel Bweta and Wood at the moment are just getting the better. A little size up on that defensive end.
Well, they learned quickly. We saw those multitude of intercepts in that first quarter, and then they changed up their play. They didn't let those long balls go in where Jamaican can
Contact keeper.
eat up.
Arm. With the keeper. Obstruction goal defence. Back with the goal defence. Goal defence stand up beside you.
Wonder whether we will, I doubt, see any changes just yet, given that they ran this first match against Barbados and chopped and changed throughout. One potential change, we might see Sunday Ariang introduced. We've seen her brought on a few times for Australia already in this.
She was just talking to her head coach, Marinkovic, and she's standing there now off the screen. But Australia continue to just keep.
Oh, there we go. And there is Ariang onto court for just the 7th cap.
Such a young talent. She's played with Courtney Bruce at West Coast Fever in the Sunshine Super Netball, and already on court she's had an impact. Young at just 21, but
outside the goal circle,
she is
on the goal line.
Dynamic, she is springy, she is quick, and she's got a good read of the game.
This isn't just about protecting that lead. This is about now wanting to win some more ball and really force that pressure on Jamaica. All out of the circle. Better back in, having done that work to move the ball through court for Australia. You feel this quarter time break can't come soon enough for Jamaica.
Yeah, Australia attack, just able to move that ball around. They suck two defenders on one person. They always seem to have one attacker free on the edge of the circle.
Maloney with a centre pass for Australia. Wood and Watson both turning to the ball. Well, there's one of the turns. Oh, there might be a word had here.
Bring it back here. Wait for my whistle.
No, thought something might be said for Watson just rolling the ball around her back before releasing it.
Yeah, deliberately delaying play.
Structure wing attack.
Got to drop that ball. Just like that. Well then, there's one off for Jamaica and their centre pass. Can they back up? 14-13 down on the quarter score. Wilson involved again. Just taste the zip off that one. Great offering. Janelle Fowler from one edge of the circle, right to the post. Pops that one in.
You can see that energy now lifted from Jamaica. Their movement is a lot sharper. They're getting in front of the Australian defensive end.
Oh, look at that! Well, if you're going to hang it up over Sterling, you've got to make sure you've got the target on the end of it, and Gretel Bweta is certainly that. Now, that may have been a clever tactic from Australia. If you got the chance to score, just score, but actually so quickly means potentially they could take a bit more time over this to delay the ball getting back to the Jamaica centre pass. They'll have practiced playing things around. Bweta could have put that up. Just wonder if they are having a little look at that clock too. Kamala Quickie putting some pressure on it. So they'll go in ahead regardless, but by how many? Jamaica come again. Still time. Hang that up. Janelle Fowler, stick her in a gallery. Clever, clever, clever from Australia at the end. They go in a goal up, a drawn quarter. It's that goal from the first quarter that counts, but Jamaica, they were swinging and they came back at them. At half-time, Australia 30, Jamaica 29. Pamela Cookie, let's focus on Australia first off. It looked like they were going to dominate that quarter.
Yeah, well, they took that big, we say big lead, but for in this game, those 4-5 goals is big because they were able to just continually move, keep Jamaica's defensive heads moving and get that ball quickly into that goal circle for the shot.
Are you ready for half an hour of highlights? Because every minute on that court was worth seeing again, but here's a select few. Having a quick glance through the stats, actually they're evening it up very well, which indicates by the goal at the top.
Indeed, and the slight changes there. Australia on 90% compared to Jamaica's 93, and then flip it, you've got Jamaica's 7 gains to Australia's 5. For me, have a look at the contact penalties though, still quite high, 21 to 22. So both teams really piling on the pressure for each other.
Body on body contest, the ultimate game of netball. We're back for the rest of the match. 2 quarters, 30-29, Australia lead. Pamela Cookie alongside me. We've been enjoying the music during that half-time break, but also what it's done is just got the crowd up on their toes again, if they needed to go up on another level. Because what they've seen, as we see Ash Brazel's family dancing in the crowd, what they've seen in those first couple of quarters is a defensive masterclass.
From both sides, defensive masterclass. Straight off the back, Sterling, from the first whistle, was on it to get those tips. And then they've really just pressured Australia coming through, making them have to play multiple balls before it then can go into the post. I think when Wood gets in there early and then plays back out again to create some space, it's been good for them.
These two teams just straining everything is brilliant.
Yeah, indeed. And then for Australia, we've seen Bruce really try and force Fowler away from the goal shooting post so that she has to do long shots, but also in the mid-court, they're making Jamaica have to do these long balls and then getting these little tips or those backline calls come. It's not been easy for either attacking end.
A reminder, Australia, the world number ones, Jamaica number 4, but Jamaica believe this is their year. Is there much that you've seen in those first 2 quarters to dissuade you of that?
I still think this could be their year, but I think Australia are really showing them that it's not going to be easy. Jamaica, just that clinicality at certain points of quarters where they just lose their heads a little bit, and Australia are able to push ahead. But Jamaica's still well in this, only 1 point just separating them.
Australia took the first quarter by a goal. It was even Stevens in that second quarter. What does the third 15 minutes hold? Australia with a centre pass, and already Wood. No.
The first centre pass coming out of the half-time break. You really want that one to be locked down just to give you that momentum.
Shamira Sterling offers one up. Wow.
That is to actual wing attack.
So just confirmation, you'll see Adine Thomas
Side the goal attack.
on a wing attack for Jamaica. Seen her play on UK courts previously.
And that would be to give Brazel a different opponent to have to think about, change up the movement, her speed. We know Adine Thomas is really quick.
Quick of feet, quick of hands, and we're all level. Centre pass for Jamaica. We alternate centre passes regardless of where the goal drops.
And Weston has come back on as goal defence for Australia. I think that familiarity, there's all those three centre court play from Melbourne Vixens. So playing nationally together, just had a little bit more connect. Nice take from Fowler.
Fowler, Jamaica captain, leads from the front, cheers from the back of court to get her side back on the defensive work. Australia was seen so clever, the play from them, when they've been faced with adversity already in this match. They were 4 goals down in that first quarter and came back to take it. Now just patiently playing the ball around court. Chance of defence from the crowd inside the NEC, but not much can keep that out.
And it's almost working, Wood and Watson. You'd say they were playing on top of each other, but they're almost shielding the space off to not allow the Jamaican defence to be able to get around and get a hand on it.
Well, that was sloppy, but a lot of it is all down to what we've spoken about with this mid-court for Jamaica. Equally, just how impressive the Australian mid-court is. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, isn't it?
Indeed, and Weston back on alongside Watson and Maloney, making a great shutdown.
Goal defence obstruction. Australia.
Steph Wood has been great in this one. Just the one miss for her, shooting at 91%. Sunshine Coast Lightning, she plays for in Australia. Boetta too. Oh, drops over. And you can almost guarantee there'd be a rebound there for Jamaica. Keep an eye. That was a real heavy fall for Jodie Ann Ward.
You'd think Jamaica's turnover to goal percentage is very low. They are really struggling when they do get in-play turnovers to get it through.
It was a heavy fall for Ward, and she's been such a key player for this Jamaica side. But she doesn't want to come off court just yet. I'm surprised they've not had a wipe up of the court as well, actually. Just the level of sweat on it, but we're back and underway.
Side the goal shooter.
Fowler to take it back to within 1. And they won't want to lose Ward.
She is key in that defensive trio. I think how they work so well together, but
she's moving much better now. But to be fair, Australia proper in the groove.
Indeed, and they are really just turning, I keep saying it, turning the heads of this Jamaican defensive end, not allowing them to use their strength of that aerial play.
A reminder, Jamaica haven't beaten Australia at the Commonwealth Games.
Okay, goal shooter.
Well, in the game of Twister, Fowler had a little look up at the screen. She will have just seen the score rather than her facial expressions. She's got to shake that one off. Well, you heard who the crowd are with. Reminder, Australia lost the Commonwealth gold on their own shores to England. They've been asked several times whether it would mean more to take it off England here in Birmingham, but they're just concentrating on the job in hand.
So all going up for the rebound. I think just getting locked in Fowler as she went up, and hence why that contact call was given.
Is that clever from Bruce?
Wiley.
Obstruction, goal attack.
For Australia, there's always multiple options offering for the feeder, so they've got it spoilt for choice, and it means Jamaica can't just focus on one.
It's not taken.
Right, just you have to set the penalty, and then defence can come into play. So Sterling trying one there.
Okay, we defeat.
This is following a fairly similar pattern to that second quarter, which Jamaica did come back at.
And you know, as long as Jamaica are within 5, you can never count them out.
Little squeak and track around.
Oh, great play from Beretta. What was so great in that passage was she came out the top. Wood was the front option, and then as soon as offload, she's straight back under the post.
Taken the majority of these goals for Australia. Little Bueta.
And get that ball to the edge of the circle, and Fowler will be on.
Seeing Thomas involved there. That change working for Jamaica at the moment?
Yeah, I think she's come on and had a nice impact.
Contact with the tag.
However, no, just like that second quarter, the score does extend. It'll be whether she can help now the Jamaican side to bring it back in.
Just such
Jamaica!
a confident combination in that circle, Wood and Bueta.
They're such great leaders in their teams domestically that they bring that kind of calmness and composure when they come into this Australian Diamond side. Complement each other nicely.
One ball.
Good to see. Ward, who took that fall, is back up with ball in hand.
Australia.
And moving okay now for Jamaica. There is Thomas.
Obstruction goalkeeper.
Thomas was offering
Australia.
at that stage and was deciding to go through Dixon Rochester. Again, we haven't maybe spoken a lot about her in this quarter for Jamaica. Perhaps wanting to see a bit more from this mid-court for them in that defensive end.
Such great flow on her shot, Steph Wood.
Balance contact on the wing attack.
Thomas with a feed in to Fowler.
Australian defenders just seem to be chasing all the way down the court. And that started off from the step change from Wilson.
Well, Maloney riding the 3 seconds that you've got to offload then. Brazel too. Oh, and it was the call of defense. It was Ward that responded.
Australian goal circle.
Just got to keep trying to do that, Jamaica.
Indeed, and you put doubt into the attackers' minds, because you just never know where someone's going to come through, and they're able then to cause that mistaken error.
Well, we criticised them at times in those first couple of quarters for not being able to capitalise, and it happens again.
Just get that rush of blood to the head, whether it's the first ball out or that very last one in. Just need someone in that attacking end just to control and maybe just hold the ball for 3 seconds and then pass it off to change the timing.
Obstruction short. Both players.
No words needed.
Jamaica.
You've got to be 3 foot away from your attacker that you're marking. Just like you see there, Maloney at centre for Australia.
3 goals down on the quarter, Jamaica.
Goalkeeper.
Make that 2. Yes, I was that confident. Doesn't look like we'll have any changes for Jamaica. You saw a shot of Williams on the bike with the towel around her
Offside, wait
neck.
the feet, obstruction.
And you could see that coming. It was too static in the circle by Bueta and Wood. Jamaica able just to completely pin them down and then Sterling go up. But that's what, if you can quickly move the ball, recycle it, then you can get round them.
We know Sterling can do it. For everything that you talk about, controlling a rush of blood to the head, it's quite the antithesis of Australia, isn't it? Just zen throughout.
Pause, wait, centre.
Beckford leaves that one for Thomas.
She continues just to rain those goals. And you can't just focus on Fowler, because with her late entry in, she's not afraid to shoot from distance and she's accurate.
7 from 7 for Beckford.
The body.
Jamaica shooting at 93%. And this, is it about to become...
Almost, only because Steph Wood did step back, so that distance looked like it had increased, but it has to be from your landing foot.
So tricky, because we know the court that she can cover. Meanwhile, problems up the other end of the court for Jamaica. Bruce and Weston combined. Weston winning her 50th cap for Australia in this one. Look at Wood coming out to help carry the ball through court. Maloney then, back to Wood. Watson was blocked off. So clever, smart.
Australia!
Well, Paige Hadley may not be able to be out on court, but we can see her part of the 12, this squad for Australia, wearing the all green, cheering on from the sidelines. Calf injury for Hadley, keeping her out of game.
Advantage offside, wing defence. And poor goal defence. Throwing Australia.
Normally you would have thought that would have been Jamaican.
Yeah, Wilson just getting her foot out of court when she touched the ball.
Contact
Little half opportunities they're getting at the moment. Wood again. We're into the final 2 minutes of this quarter. Is this the quarter that wins it for Australia?
You saw Wood just take
14-9 up on it.
Big breath just to settle herself. She'd missed 2. And that's the mark of a experienced goal attack. Reset yourself.
That's what Jamaica need to do too. She took the ball and Bruce knew all about it. Fowler in. Well, she's doing her job at the moment.
It's just Jamaica not giving her enough opportunities.
Well, we mentioned it in the last quarter about Jamaica needing a turn. Now it's just about concentrating on their goal, or getting to goal, for these final few seconds of this quarter. This is not beyond them, but they'll want to make sure that this one's cuddled all the way down. Come Jamaica again then. Dixon Rochester.
Inside the circle. Obstruction goal defence.
Beckford will have the little step in, but there's an obstruction called against Weston, so Fowler will take it from here. Now, can they delay things up the other end? 45-40. Still plenty of time on the clock when it comes to Australia. They need to be quick in a transition, but this the ultimate game of attack versus defence, and it's Australia that come out of this particular arm wrestle. How big a goal will that be? 46-40, and a big goal at the end for Australia.
Australia just got to create a gap in that quarter, but all still to play for in the final 15 at three-quarter time. It's Australia 46.
Well, Pamela Cookie, 5-goal gap that Australia established in that, and we talk about fine margins. That final goal in that quarter could prove crucial.
Indeed, and who do you want to have at the end of it but Greta Boretta? That athleticism to get so high and so strong on that take. They'll be so pleased that they've come through and extended that lead.
You're clearing out something's coming, but you've still got to work in partnership. Okay, so making sure, guys, that you've got options, but it's not just one now. The only way we can keep ball speed and to put them under the pump is if we work collectively and have multiple options. Defensively, go just a little bit longer, okay? And it's the part where it's that one more half step to get in front so you're not on their back shoulder, and it's that absolute being relentless in your angles, okay?
Stacey Stacey Marinkovic pretty much talking us through where she's going for the next 15 minutes, but let's focus on the first half of her chat there and the attacking threat.
And exactly as she said, keep doing that, multiple options, providing the feeder with ball in hand, different options to pass to, and if they continue as they've done in that last quarter, then they'll be getting the better of Jamaica because they just don't know who to mark. They're constantly moving. If they don't get the ball, they've re-offered again straight away, and Jamaica then are on the back foot.
Working in partnerships, the collective, the team, and you can see that, the seamless in and out, going back to that starting 7 as well. It's the teamwork from Australia at the moment that gives them that gap. Let's have a listen in to what Jamaica made of that.
Keep moving as the ball swings on that. We still have, I don't think we're putting enough pressure. Like, I feel like you keep coming back into the circle. Get out on her. That's where we win the game. When Steph Wood is under pressure, not giving her time and space, that's the last thing we're going to be able to do. We're also athletic. We're so good in the air on the ground. Nail her out there.
Never something I thought I'd hear with the Jamaica defence. You're not putting them under enough pressure, but where else is it falling down for Jamaica?
In their attacking end coming through, well, the turnovers that they have got, it hasn't always been clinical to goal. We've seen a couple of missed shots, and what Bruce getting the better there of Fowler on those rebounds. Again, everyone is so quick from Australia to get their arms over, to put that pressure on, and then those balls just not in the right space for Fowler.
Great shot of the two club teammates together then. We know that Fowler and Sterling have been over for a little chat with the umpires too. The captain can do that. You might as well use it heading into the final 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, and just to get a little bit of clarification and potentially just put some thoughts in the minds of the umpires for them to have a look at. And we heard in that break from Rob Wright just saying to Wilson, you're so quick on the ground and in the air, don't need to drop back into the circle to cover Beretta, stay up on Steph Wood, don't give her enough space, because when she's confident and when she feels free, she's such a lovely playmaker. So if Wilson can shut her down, that would have an effect in Australia's attacking end.
The first 5 minutes crucial, says Stacey Marinkovic. Jamaica with a centre pass. Australia with a 46-40 lead heading into this final 15 minutes. This the last pool match for these two sides. This about who finishes top of the pool. The winner of the pool will play second in the other group. We'll find out who that will be later as New Zealand face England. At the moment though, 15 minutes of the best netball you're likely to see. First response from Jamaica. Khadija Williams back on at wing attack then for Jamaica.
Yeah, I think she was the more accurate feeder to Fowler than Thomas was when she came on, so I guess that's the reason for the change.
A reminder, we can have draws in the pool. These two have played out a draw in the Commonwealth Games before. Wood though, just to make sure that Australia keep that gap. Wilson back into Ward, and there is Williams back on court. Oh, that's what she can do.
Yeah, just going over all the mess and the fuss in front of her, using Fowler as a nice outlet.
Whip the goal attack, goal defence. No, whip the goal defence, please.
Beckford into Fowler. And that combination back on court and ticking. And you're right, we know Williams can do this. She has the experience, a couple of bronze medals, fast 5 silver as well. Made her debut back in 2013 against England, so her quality back on court for Jamaica. Now that defensive work, Rob Wright was talking about it, got to put more pressure on them.
Great work, Jodie-Ann Ward coming through. This is the turnover that they needed, but they on attack, they just let it go. So frustrating.
Frustrating is right for Jamaica, but this is what Australia have done so well until that point. Ward wanted it. There's hunger, there's desire.
Twice in the space of 30 seconds, Ward is lifting their side. Now though,
can they reward it? Dixon Rochester getting involved.
Contact goalkeeper, you're grabbing her arm. Goal shooter, where you are.
In the latest instalment in Bruce versus Fowler. Fowler this time who gets the call.
Instruction, both players. Step up, keeper.
Well then, it started with an intercepted, ends with a goal, and Jamaica go 2 up on this quarter.
Great from Ward. Watson just not coming onto the ball, and Ward using that speed to run through and get that intercept.
From centre pass to goal, the run of 2 on for Jamaica. There's the look from the captain. 4-1 up on the quarter. Back to within 3 overall. Now what do Australia do? Every time they've been questioned in this match, they've just played it calm.
A nice swing, but then it just means everybody's on the opposite side, so it takes time.
Sterling is down, she's down, the post felt her on the way through, she's back up, but only in time to watch Bueta finish that one off. Can't take your eyes off it. Calls around court. It's a cacophony of noise and trainers' squeaks and players yelling for it, and the desire to make it through to the post.
Australia.
Over to you, Australia.
That is the attacking work that is Williams again back on court. She has lifted that side, giving them a little bit more structure, a little bit more accuracy on that pass.
Now the chance of defence again from inside the NEC arena. Have to go back to Ash Brazel. Wood out of that circle, blocked off getting back into it. Bueta all alone. Wood tries to find it, but a replay ball. That was coming.
It was indeed. They were getting so close together, so tight. And that's when Jamaica put on the pressure. Keep them wide, Australia.
This has a whiff of Jamaica in the second quarter about it. They pulled that one back to 16 all. They're 5-2 up on this quarter score. You're right in that change of bringing Williams back on. Just really got that attacking end going. Bruce on her front. Fowler up top. Drops in, and look at that.
She was just willing that goal to go through. She gave it a little extra jump, even though the ball wasn't in her hand.
Jamaica centre parts to go back within 1. Over the top, easy does it. The Raw will tell you all you need to know.
So key. You saw Jamaica go into that quarter, the heads were down, they looked despondent, but they've come out into this fourth.
Australia coach Stacey Marinkovic said a big first 5 minutes. It's a 5 minutes that's seen her side go 5 goals down on the quarter score. 1 up overall. Now the defence again. Bueta stretches. Bueta can't stick. Jamaica bench on their toes. Now they'll come from the back of the court to try and draw this level.
Jamaica throwing. Jamaica.
This game is electric. It will be who takes this, which team can keep their heads in it. It's not just about your physical play, it's who has that mental toughness just to do the right things at the right time and not give away silly mistakes.
Australia will make Jamaica take every second of their 3 on the way through. I think Fowler perhaps in the replay didn't have control of that.
Here she is, next to her note, a goal take.
Let's bring the hustle, was the call from Fowler. She was ready to take that from her shooting partner. We are all level. 8-2 ahead on the quarter. The little bounce in, Beckford out. She'll know, she'll find Fowler. And Janelle Fowler, captain of Jamaica, takes them in front.
She is the leading scorer for the Suncorp Super Netball League. She is multiple times player of the season, really doing it for her squad in this game.
Now Australia, the world number ones, are swinging from behind. Watson, the captain, finds Wood. She shuts out the noise inside the arena. Steph Wood has been brilliant this match.
And Fowler just coming out to release allows her centre court to be able to get ball on the edge of the circle. Like we've said all along, one-on-one, she's so good in the circle. Cool as a cucumber.
50 up for Jamaica, halfway point during this final quarter. Watson, the Australia captain, trying to calm things in front. Buetta on the dribble, that one they said's okay. Just all ends up in that attacking end now for Australia.
Yeah, it's just looking a little bit sticky and not as smooth getting it into the shooters, having to play this ball around a lot. Just arms everywhere.
Game plan working for Jamaica, but you have to stand and applaud that from Steph Wood again.
Just shuts everything else around her out, and it's just her and the post.
50-50 on the scoreboard, and that's pretty much how this match could go.
Goal take obstruction. Dolphins contact
Hustling and
outside.
bustling and just forcing their way through Jamaica at the
Inside,
moment.
not in front.
Just getting these penalty calls, and it's just getting them ever closer to the circle edge. And Beckford continues. She's loving life.
Oh, how we wish this was a match in the latter stages, because we'd have extra time. But this one can draw up. Perhaps it's what they deserve. The Jamaican fans in the crowd will tell you they more than deserve this win. What a last 5.5 minutes or so we're in for.
Players do not want extra time, Caroline.
They won't have it today, don't worry.
Ever.
It's just us, feeling a bit spoilt, needing a bit more. Let's enjoy what's in front of us. 51 all.
Great take. Williams just
Where you take obstruction.
distribution of ball has been so on point.
She's had a spell on the bench, come back on and really injected some ambition, hope and entertainment into this Jamaica side, which is the perfect combination.
Great step from Dixon Watson. See how she drew Weston out to the right, but gave Fowler even more space under the post.
Brazel finds Buetta. She's come out for the cause. Wood's still in there. Buetta tries to get head down and back in, but she's blocked off by Jamaica. Set up, set up, set up. They forced them into it.
They did. They put so much pressure now on this attacking end for Australia.
Look at those
Reaping the
turns.
rewards.
Look at those turns. They haven't always, as you say, been on the reward end of it though.
12 for Jamaica.
Well, they went 8-4 up in that first quarter. That seems like a lifetime ago, but they're about to nudge to clear. That's what it means to Jamaica. And as if you could sense it coming, Australia make a change. This a change to try and force their way back into it.
Definitely, you're going to see Bruce's move to goal defence, see if she can give a little bit more hassle on Beckford. And Clow, who I think at goalkeeper, whenever she's come on, has made an impact.
Straight up.
Well, the impact comes.
Goal shooter and offside.
Brazel, who's kept motoring and ticking through this. So Bruce out to goal defence. She was an option then for Maloney. Captain Watson back out to Maloney. Oh, it's back to Bruce. Just threading to Wood. Still can't find Buetta. All forming a queue inside.
And they're just giving up Jamaica this space to be able to come out. It's just been a little bit too tight, playing close together. But the strength from Wood got that contact call, and then she's quick off mark.
Well, they're back to within a goal, are Australia, but they are 13-6 down on the quarter. Their centre pass. this to tie us back up again. Look at where they're having to go back to. Every board is being used in this one. Wood. And this is where they've been so successful, Jamaica. It's what was demanded of them in that quarter time. Just trying to keep everything out of that circle.
Oh, back! Shavira Sterling on the rejection of the pass.
Well, I said she's the only currency you need in netball. Sterling is a joy. Payback time. Now what did Jamaica do? Over the top. She had hands in her face. She had body on body. Janelle Fowler emerges.
What a game.
Fowler does the job to reward Sterling and the shutout. One end to the other. This Jamaica side do not want to give this one up. They haven't beaten Australia here at the Commonwealth Games. They've played in every games against one another. They are taking on the world number ones, and at the moment they are heading to that historic first win.
Goal shooter, goal shooter, that's the lane play. Yep, get it back quicker.
Just telling Fowler, everyone getting a little carried away perhaps. You've got to allow that ball to go. And that's what Australia need now. Got to be quick in the transition. Little pat on the back from Maloney to Wood. Oh, on the back up. Weta was angry in that rebound. She wasn't giving that one up.
No, she wasn't. So key. But what I've noticed, the times when Jamaica are playing, as we see that great lift from Wilson, but taken from Weta, when they're down their bench end, if the defensive end are next to their bench, they really lift their game. It's like they can feel the talk and the noise from their bench, and it just takes them up another layer. Maybe something for other teams to think about when they're picking ends of court or first centre pass.
Well, Australia have come back. They've been toe to toe. They've swung blow to blow. And now, surely this one is gone from them. 3-goal lead. We know Australia can be quick in the transition, but there's no one there in the circle. They're being marshalled up court. This defensive work from Jamaica. Throw every superlative at it. And as much as Australia respond now, it's the clock who's their greatest enemy. 2 goals down, last 45 seconds. All Jamaica need do is keep it in hand, play it around court. This is just a pool match. How lucky are we as what to come this weekend? As the medals come falling, will it be a golden one for Jamaica? Beckford, bounce in again. She's waiting. Delay as much as you like. They can play it around. They know the win is going with them.
Instruction, back outside.
Last few seconds. That is what it means.
Oh, Rob Wright, their defensive technical coach, so pleased, but Weta says, I'm still in this game, but it's all too little, too late.
Jamaicans are on the court. They're dancing in the stands. They're dancing in their huddles. This was just a pool match, but this was no ordinary pool match. This was about taking the pool, about marching into finals weekend, about showing Australia that Jamaica are here and they mean business. Jamaica 57, Australia 55. It's a shame it had to end. Pamela Cookie, we came into this hoping we would see a 60 minutes like that.
Oh, definitely did, and they did not disappoint both teams, but so well done to Jamaica, and very well they should celebrate. This is the first time they beat Australia in the Commonwealth Games. They have been flying throughout this competition, so now can they replicate it? This could be the final, unless New Zealand and England have anything to say about it.
What a huddle. And if ever you wondered what Rob Wright and Connie Francis bringing him into the team would mean, it's in that huddle there. For Australia, we saw how calm they had been at times, how they'd seen Jamaica go in front of them, how they'd reeled them back in, and you just thought that was going to happen again.
You did indeed, but you did see in that last quarter they got so tight together when they were attacking through the court in that circle, and so it meant that Jamaica could play to their strength. They've got so many long levers, quick off the mark, and they were just marshalling Australia into the same places.
You can stick a pin in this match and watch it time and time again, but here are just a few of the select highlights. That's the first time that Jamaica has beaten Australia at a pinnacle event, be it Commonwealth Games or be it World Cup. How did they do it, Pamela?
Oh, well, go straight down to games. 13 from Jamaica. That's the total time they took possession from Australia. And then back that up right at the top with a 95% shooting accuracy. That's how they won this.
Top level netball. What more could you ask for? 90% for Australia, 95% for Jamaica. It had everything, and everything was left on court. But that is merely the starter. Brilliant. So confirmation then of Pool A. That result for Jamaica means they top the pool. They will play whoever finishes second in Pool B. We'll know that right at the end of this stretch. The final day of pool matches here in Birmingham. New Zealand face England a little bit later on to see then who will face Jamaica. As for Australia, as they regroup then, they'll face the winners of Pool B. We'll bring you confirmation of that pool then. England, New Zealand, that rounds things off. What a start, what an end to this day. But we've got tasty old ties all the way through, the likes of Uganda taking on Malawi, Northern Ireland, Trinidad and Tobago too. All those below the semi-finalists matter as well in terms of classifications. Anywhere you go, make sure you've got a telly by you, because this one is worth sticking with all day.